Hello everyone, Tactical Lich here, and welcome to another Wednesday Faction Wars. Today we are playing as the Greenskins. But I think our opponent hasn't shown up yet. Let me just check if they're online. They might be involved in other battles or something. Not sure, but we'll wait a bit and see if they show up for battle. Yeah. Anyways. Welcome everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great week. After last week's Glacier Lake meme at 20, we're back into Conquest Mode with a regular Swiss format faction wars. And this week, we're gonna do something special. We're not gonna use any spells. No magic, just abilities and items. Hey Krell, hey, doing well, doing well. And let's see. Okay. Just checking some bitrate and stuff at the back end. I think it's fine. But yeah. Also, hey, Contrarian Codex. Hope you're doing well as well. Things are pretty chill on my end. Just waiting for my opponent to show up. Not sure when are they gonna show up, but we shall see here. I believe other battles are probably already ongoing right now. And yeah, I hope our opponent is gonna show up soon. We don't have a lot of players today, so if we have another dropout, we might have to end the 20 early due to the lack of matches. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. If we don't have a whole lot of players, we might actually switch it over into a different format or something. We shall see. But yeah, let's see. Well, our opponent is supposed to be a Kislevite player, so yeah, this is going to be a rough one. We'll need a lot of bacon cav for sure. Just a sheer amount of bacon cav, and then maybe even black orcs in the front line, just to hold the line there with the shielded versions. And a Night Goblin War Boss with a Tormentor Sword, Fermented Fungi, both should be good. And what else? We might actually have to bring a bunch of gobbles to lead yeah, to lead our army of orcs, which is quite weird when you consider their dynamic. Yeah. Small player list tonight, so very much quality over quantity for sure. It's probably gonna be a quick one, since we don't have a lot of battles to showcase and cast. But I do hope that my opponent shows up at some point. Yeah, unfortunately they're not responding to my messages and stuff, so I have no idea if they are if I can get a hold of them or something. But yeah, otherwise we'll just have to make do with what we have and maybe just get a couple rounds of battle and then end the stream early. We shall see what happens there. Hopefully they show up at some point soon. Otherwise I am gonna be you know what? Instead of just waiting for them and not knowing when they're gonna show up, I'm just gonna jump into ranked matchmaking and see if I can find a match somewhere. And before Bert wins the whole thing. Butcherbird has established a pretty huge dominance over the 20s over the last few weeks, so maybe we shall see him win a few more times even. My main hope is that no one else drops out. Yeah, that's what I hope as well, but yeah, so far we're not seeing a lot of great luck with the turnout. It would definitely be more ideal if we see more players, but unfortunately, like, life comes up and some people get occupied and stuff, so it's not always, you can't always be there on a Wednesday night to play in the tourney, but yeah. Alright, anyways, let's just go Greenskins, and I have no idea what they're gonna bring, so I'm just gonna lock the hell in first, right now. Ogres. Oh, this is a tough one, because ogres always have an advantage in this matchup due to the fact that they have the Lead Belcher's artillery. It's a very scary piece of tech. And I definitely do not want to get shot. I mean, I'll probably get shot by them on my way in, so it's inevitable. But I definitely want to shut them down some way. Yeah, in some way. Yeah, this is not. This is gonna be a rough one. Not these. Rusty Ears, Rocklocks, Armored Orcs, and then, or maybe just a few. And just bring some gobbles in the front line. They're probably gonna get crumped. So so we back them up with some biggins. Actually, a few orc biggins. They're probably prime target for artillery as well, but we shall see there. You know what? What we can try is Hammer of Gork them. Since Lead Belchers don't have the longest range, and we can probably take advantage of that. All right, let's see. We'll probably just have to bring some savage orc boar boys and just spam them. Both throw a Hammer of Gork and then any fermented fungi, tormented sword. Spite of the Bamoon and Get Back Ear might be good. And then an unbreakable frontline anchor. What else? Yeah, let's just get some Rusty Ears and Armored Orcs, and then yeah, we don't have much else we can do here. Get a Night Goblin Big Boss with a Squeak Thinking, and to maybe perhaps tie down their troops. That's about it. We don't have much else we can do here. I don't. Let's just turn off Get Back here then. And get a couple Gobble Spears. I have no idea if this is gonna work. We're not even using magic, but we have 0 funds left over. Gork can't be that much. Belcher's 200-meter range. Yeah. Gork is 400. Hammer of Gork, so it should be fine. Should be fine. The problem is, can they take down enough of the Lead Belchers before they get in range? That's the real question. Alright. Let's see what happens. Gorky the RT, yeah. It's not a big one, so but yeah, the Goblin Bolt Thrower has a much shorter range, so that would be a problem though. We just have to line them up a little bit further ahead, and then yeah. Let's see what happens with these here. Alright, let's just get our units sorted. Yeah, that's basically it. We don't really have much of a complex formation, and we don't even have the... I probably should have brought Menji Marauders. But I will. It is what it is. Let's just get the battle started. And yeah, if my opponent doesn't show up for the rest of the round, I will probably have to shrink this 20 down into... from 4 rounds down to 3 rounds due to less players joining. And try to get as many games for the rest of the players as possible. Because they already... everyone already spent the time to join the 20. I want to give them a bit more action. We shall see here. It's a gold fang, huh? Alright, they don't have lead belchers. This is a problem, the thunder tusk. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull. There's nothing at the back unless they have Vanguard deployment, and that's a different story. Let's just push up a bit. Let's just pick off their infantry first, and even the ogre infantry as well. I think I can fermented fungi some of these guys if I can get close enough. Though I might have to start throwing 4 boys. Alright, let's just try and get close enough to them and fermented fungi them. Alright, pull back. Alright, let's just go get them. Spite of the bad moon, let's go. Catch them, surround them, and beat the shit out of them. Yeah, we're gonna get screwed anyways on that side. Alright, let's start spinning. Alright, shoot them. And, wait, where's my rustiers? Alright. Go ahead and shoot them. Yep, we've wiped those out. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's just keep rolling back over there. Pick them off, pull back, pull back. I don't even need magic, I don't think. Alright, the gobbles can just stay at the back line there. Right. Let's start running them down. The problem is this thunder tusk there. Alright, we can get some squick summons out at some point later. So that's a good news, I guess. Alright, you pull back. We're gonna just hold. Ooh, let's just wow everything. Might as well just wipe out as much stuff as we can while we're at it. While we have stuff fighting the good fight. Yeah, we are wiping out a good chunk of stuff. The epic loonies are holding the ground pretty well. And start shooting. Start shooting. Yeah, you go and turn over there and start shooting those guys. The wah is done. Yeah. Now go and snipe goal gag. Man-eater. Keep him in the fight as well while I surround him. Yep. Alright, everyone, get that anti-large going. Yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, pretty straightforward there. Once we took out the Sky Striders, it's not much else tactics are needed there. Fermented fungi is so good, man. It's such a good ability. Can we get an army losses out here while we're at it? Alright, just keep chasing them. You know what? We can hammer of Gork the big thunder tusk on the other side of the map. Alright, that is GG then. Yeah, that was pretty straightforward. They don't have any lead belchers, which I was most afraid of. And we were able to pick off their units one by one. Not much to talk about in terms of tactics. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm just gonna do some quick 20 admin because we might have to update the rounds in the tourney for right now. As my opponent still hasn't replied to my messages. So I don't know. Give me a second. Okay, so yeah, let me just do some tournament admin, and then we will be back to maybe figuring out what to do next with our games. Alright, one of the battle has concluded. Vampire Counts versus Chaos Dwarves. Wait, can we still? Huh? Challenge says it is still possible to get 4 rounds of 4 rounds going. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we can still work. Maybe this can still work. We shall see. It will be fewer games, but yeah, we shall see what happens. We need to we need to just update the challenge and see what happens. We shall see. Alright, let's get another quick battles going while we wait for the final battle to we wait for the other battle to conclude in round 1. As the Khorne versus Dark Elves is still going on. It might involve a lot of kiting from my experience of watching this matchup. Because the best way to beat Khorne is not to fight them. The best way to fight Khorne is not to fight them and just kite them to death. And the Dark Elves do have the ability to kite with their Scourge Runners and some of their armor-piercing skirmish cav. But it's not necessarily the best call. No kite box. I lost because that battle concluded. All right, so we should probably move on then. Oh, you lost. Actually, I'm just gonna mark you as a loss then. For box, then it's also okay. So challenge decided it's fine to have. Challenge decided it's fine to have 4 rounds with 5 people. So we'll stick to 4 rounds, just so people can have a couple more games to play and to watch. But yeah, right now we are gonna fight Butcher Bird. And we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I assume that's a black guard box, which is a bit rough. I can bring cannon and not happen, but nah. Are you gonna? You can probably kite the box that way as well. But I wonder if it's possible to bring Karanak to counter the box then. Alright, I'm just gonna have to show up to my opponent's lobby, and give me a second there. Which will be Butcher Bird. That's gonna be a tough nut to crack. And we don't have magic, by the way. We're not playing magic this week. Going full Wah. So this is gonna be rough. Vampire counts in the hands of a competent player can be quite deadly. In the hands of a shit player like me, they're gonna die. Especially like the quality of a vampire army really depends on how good a player performs with their Vargheists. I, on one hand, is absolute shit at playing with Vargheists. Every time I dump them in for a few seconds, and then I forget about them for a couple more seconds, and then by the time I look at them again, they are just half dead. So yeah, not ideal. But at the hands of a great player like Butcher Bird, this might be a lot different. So we shall see what happens here. I am not looking forward to it, but we just have to do what we can to try and win this game. Let's get a few savage orcs here to clear chaff. And we probably just need a whole lot of Daka, to be honest. Yeah, let's just get Daka. And then Gobble War Boss to lock enemies down, Fermented Fungi, Spite of the Bad Moon, and Tormented Sword. And yeah, I personally really like the combination. Actually, should I bring 2 Gobble Big Bosses? Yeah, maybe I should just bring 2 Gobble Bosses. One on a Giant Wolf, one on a Giant Spider. Wait, what? Alright. And then just bring a Need Stabbin'. They need Stabbin', sort of anti-heroes. Yep, there we go. Well, looks like our opponent's already ready. Shit. I also need to be aware of, I'm also a bit worried about something like, say, Blood Knights or Heavy Cavalry trying to hit up my back line. So we'll probably get some orc boys to help us out for a bit there. Oh no, not that. 1, 2, 3. So a bit money left. Back just in time, nice. And that's a lot of Daka indeed. I think I need a lot of Daka here. I just hope I have enough Daka for this. I don't know if that's gonna be enough, but we shall see. It's a full 20 stack army with no magic, and we're just going in. But yeah, Kukinko, box happens. Box happens, so unfortunately, like, it happens to the best of us. I struggle to break boxes myself. Like, if I play a matchup like a dozen times against the same similar style box, I can learn how to adapt and break it. But the problem is, there are so many matchups and so many possible boxes. I can't master every single matchup myself. So, like, if I switch a faction, I have to relearn the whole box breaking mechanic. So I personally struggle against boxes a lot as well. Like, yeah, it's they are like, box isn't exactly like an NT everything combo, but there is just builds that are very good at against specialized situations. Yeah, and specific factions with very specialized roles as well. So, like, Vampire Counts normally would struggle against boxes as well. So, especially boxes with healing and monstrous infantry. So, which is why you sometimes would see Wood Elf Army bringing a bunch of trees to box up and are ready to grind down the entire Vampire Count army. Like, Durfu, maybe not Durfu, but a tree man would be a scary one among the possible boxes against Vampire Counts. But of course, we're not playing that today. We can't box today because we're greenskins. We don't box. We just Y and hope for the best. And we're not playing magic, so yeah, this is gonna be rough for us as well. We have a lot of Daka, but I don't know if they can survive Fellbats and Direwolves. Struggle so much in the box, I start boxing myself. Sometimes if you can't beat them, join them, right? Alright, I need to enter guard mode, actually. Yep, there we go. We just have to Daka this. Oh, we're getting Spirit Leech! Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, let's just throw this on the side. Let them probably have to sacrifice them to buy us some time there. We also don't have any magic damage. How much? Oh my god! How much do I want a Spirit Leech? Oh lordy lord! Oh no! Wait, they can't see me. Okay. Anyways, I'll have to hold back my characters for a bit there, cause they're gonna jump. They're gonna drop some Spirit Leeches on me. Maybe I should have brought Alright, Arrow Boys, let's move up. Ow! That hurts a lot! That hurts a whole fucking lot! Yeah, there we go, there we go. We're seeing everything! Start shooting Manfred! Yeah, my Cav is done on that side. That's Lock him down! Kill him, everything! Daka the shit out of him! Die! Alright, we killed Manfred, I think. I think that's enough to... No, we need a couple more volleys? Just keep shooting him! Just keep shooting him! I don't give a shit what you're doing. Just keep shooting him. Alright. Manfred's dead. We can start dealing with other stuff. Unfortunately, everything is gone for us. It's... we still have this one lone unit of, Okay, our, characters are in a bit of a situation right now. Okay, Manfred went down. Good news, I guess. Alright, do we have anything? Oh, our lord is gonna be done for as well. Not ideal. Alright, go and fight that, I guess. You guys don't have a whole lot of things to do right now. Alright, wah time! It's time to wah. Time to wah! Oh god, that was a rough one. we managed to kill them though, so that's good. The bad news is everything is dead. Everything else is dead, and we don't have any resources to kill these Blood Knights. Other than trying to Daka this, shit. Oh my god, you nuked Manny. Yeah, this is the power of Greenskin Daka. The only problem is we don't have much else to use. We don't have much else to counteract the. Alright. Let's just do that. Jump them. Our characters are not in good shape though. We killed Manny, but that's about it. We got so many Daka, but god. Do we have to throw the Warlock's armored orcs into melee? Man, that would be awkward. But yeah, I think I might have overkilled on the Daka. Probably should have cut like one Daka unit. I definitely could have used some. I definitely could have used it. Man, I basically threw away my cavalry, which is a big problem there. I made a big mistake with my units. That's the downfall of my army, I suppose. Like we killed Manfred, but that's about it. That's about all we did. And I think I didn't even need these to gobble Big Boss. I probably should have just grabbed more cavalry instead. But yeah, the fact that I let my cavalry charge, get my cavalry just sit there and eat the charge from a bunch of Vampire Count's mobility, that was a big mistake on my end. I fucked up my micro so bad on that one. But yeah, it's GG, I guess. We killed Manfred. And honestly, like in the actual lore, I think like the fact that if I kill the Vampire Count Lord with an army of greenskins, that's absolutely worth it. Even if the greenskins get mobbed. In lore-wise. So, victory in spirit. Not in fact, though. Alright, GG. But yeah, yeah, I feel like what I needed to I definitely should have done is a micro my calf batter. Well, it's I say that, but I just never get them micro properly, especially when I'm very hyper focused on killing Manfred, and then I neglected my flanks and they got charged and they die. So that was unfortunate. A little too flimsy for the grind for sure. Yeah, the infantry, like, they kill zombies and stuff, but they couldn't kill anything afterwards. Like, yeah, we nuked Manfred, but we got so much money into these air boys and archers. I've got nothing left for anything else. So maybe I should have probably like cut the armored orcs, and these 5 units probably have enough DPS to just nuke many on the ground or something. And what? Oh wait, no, I still needed one of these. Because I need that, they need stabbing to reduce the armor of many and get the damage boost from all these non-armor piercing missiles. Like, that's a 60 armor debuff if I combine it with armor sundering from the Rustiers. But I definitely needed a lot more armored cav, or armor piercing anti-large cav, to be exact. And then maybe get some Manji Marauders. Actually, yeah, these, and then get another Manji Marauders probably would be nice. Something like that. Yeah, something like that maybe would have stood a bit more chance. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a rough one we played there. Or maybe just get the Rutlux Armored Orcs with by cutting one of the air boys. Something like that maybe would have worked a bit better. And you still lost your own lord doing it. Yeah, you committed like 5k gold to snipe 3k gold lord. Yeah, and then the archers got nothing to do afterwards. Like, there's no good targets afterwards. I was expecting more of Vargeist spam. But yeah. There's no Vargeist for me to shoot at. It's just a Vargolf and a cavalry rolling through my flanks. Yeah, 6 archers and 2 heroes and lord. That's about right. No, actually, I had, I think I have 7 archers. That was way too much. Alright, next up is against Contrarian Codex. And they have a lobby, so I'm just gonna move on over there. Alright. Greenskins versus Chaos Dwarves. We are fighting our former slave masters. Don't love Vargeist here, to be honest. I feel you. Vargeist is just one of the mobility that it's pretty staple in the Vampire Count's army. Like, they bypass enemy ground defenses, which Vampire Count sorely needs outside of zombie summons. They do good damage on the charge. But they're just so fragile, man. They're so fragile. Actually, yeah, it makes sense not to bring this in the Greenskins matchup. They might get kited to death by gobble skirmishers. So, yeah, I probably should have prepared for more of a cavalry spam and monsters instead of... If anything, I probably should have bring the big end here. The big end probably would have been a nice idea, but well. Alright, against Chaos Dwarfs, what are we doing here? That's a lot of vegetation. Yeah, that's quite a bit of trees. You know what? You know what? You know what would be really freaking... you know what would be really funny? Both sides going full Vanguard for some reason. We shall see what happens here. not Warlord's Boys. We need that and a couple of these, and then I think we can bring full Vanguard. It's possible to bring full Vanguard here. Yeah. And then I guess we'll just have to bring a couple Gobble Big Bosses again, just because we don't have anything to kill single entities. We're probably gonna get Spirit Leech to death, let's face it. So again, Night Gobble War Boss, Fermented Fungi, and Tormented Sword. Spite of that weapon, just in case we need to fight something big. Yeah, and we still have money left over. Damn it. Circuit Squeaks. Yeah, we still have some money left over. I don't know. Manji Marauders probably the best bet here, and then cut some of these. Cut one archer and then bring another skirmisher. Yeah, there we go. I love the commitment to Zero Caster, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned last week I'm gonna bring no magic, so I'm not bringing magic today. Like sometimes you gotta have to meme a bit, even if it means losing all your battles in a 20. But it looks like we are still having 4 rounds. Challenge decided we have enough people for 4 rounds, so we're doing it. Yeah, we're fighting against Codex this round, against their Chaos Dwarves, hoping for the best. Going full Vanguard deployment, except wait, hold on. Yeah, I think everyone has Vanguard here. All right. Yeah, wait, what do you mean Gobble Big Boss can't Vanguard? What do you mean? He's not. That makes no sense. All right, fine. I'll bring this guy here. Yeah, what? And Snaggler? Alright, Fang Spike. Does he have Vanguard deployment? Yes, he does. And he is on the... Ooh. Oh, wait, no, we can't bring... I think we can bring targeted net. I'll just bring hatchlings. I'm not gonna bring spiderweb attack. Just nah. Feels a bit of a dick move to bring 2 nets for a meme battle. All right, there we go. Yeah, we can bring a full Vanguard deployment army now. Yeah, I think the Lord is Vanguard deployment as well. Gobble is not Night Gobble. That makes sense, actually. It comes with mount. Probably, I brought him on a Spider mount, I think. So, but yeah, still no Vanguard. So I assume it's just not a Vanguard deployment option on both Gobble mounts. You have to go for the Night Gobble. Which doesn't make sense, because Wolf Riders have Vanguard. Vanguard comes with mounts, but the Wolf mount doesn't give him Vanguard. Oh. Anyways, we're gonna bring in some summons, whatever. We have a lot of summons to play with. Spiders, hatchlings from Snackla, and then some squigs from the Night Gobble War boss. Big boss. Shit. Do we? What do you mean I can't deploy there? What? Oh right. Oh no, I can't deploy there. Well, I'll just have to do that then, and hope these guys can. Oh wait, what? No! There's no deployment zone there. Oh no. Well. Guess we just have to go from the front then. Not that we have much of a choice at this point. Oh, wait, actually, let's just bring these guys onto the left. let them take over this spot. And just scatter the nasty skulkers all over the place. While our fanatics try to sneak through on the flanks. Oh, there's no Vanguard deployment so behind enemy lines, damn it! This is not Pillar of Bone. Pain. Pain! I would have loved to get the Vanguard deployment zone there, but no, no. Creative Assembly was like, no. In your dreams. So yeah, nasty skulkers on the side, ready to sneak past the enemy, I guess, hopefully. Alright, there we go. Let's see, our characters in a blob, these guys can deploy in the front there and start shooting ASAP. Yeah, they're all Vanguard deployment ready. That second group, third group with skirmishing fire on that, and then these guys are grouped separately to drop these fanatic launches. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, and we should be good to go. What? No! Okay, this is a problem. Kadai Destroyer. I wasn't expecting that. Alright, we are moving. Our front line is immediately getting crumped. Not that we can do much about it, unfortunately. Yeah, the archers are dead. Shit. Wait, do they? Oh, I didn't realize they don't have stock. Damn. Nazi skulkers don't have stock, damn it. Let's just throw them in. Wait, there's another. Oh, that's so many monsters. I don't have what it takes to deal with all these. Damn it. All right, let's see if we can lure him down. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing with this build. Just keep shooting that. You guys come over here to help. And can we get their lord? We can probably do that. Just jump them from behind. You can probably get. Oh, you guys can get another. You guys can get another launch out now. All right, we got the Lord. Oh, we couldn't kill their Lord, I don't think. Or maybe can. Or can we? Nazi Skulkers actually trade pretty well, as is designed. Against the enemy lord. I mean, against the enemy shooting. Oh shit. Go die there, and alright, what? Time to what? Jump them. You know what? Oh wait, hold on. You guys start running. Shoot that, shoot that, shoot that. Unfortunately we let the Lord ran. So not ideal. Shoot that. And you guys go and fight that. Where are my oh, the fanatics are all done for. I don't have any more fanatics shots. Alright. You get another. Alright, my lords are pretty fucking dead. You guys stop shooting. I need to reserve all your ammo for important targets. Go and chase that. And what else do we have there? Alright, you guys start running back there. Just chip down the small ones. Ah, the choo-choo trains are a bit too much here. Alright, we can probably shoot down the demon engine. The problem is the Kadai destroyer at the back there. We don't have any more fanatics cast. That's the main problem there. We don't have anything great for killing. Killing the infantry. Nope, just nothing there. Alright, we got them. Alright, let's come over and throw in some more spiders. And hopefully solve the issue there. We have one more volley of missiles left. Alright, just go and tie them down. Keep shooting. Ah! I've got nothing left on the ground. Ah, shit. The Kadai destroyer stood their ground and held on. I think that's GG, guys. I think that's GG. We kind of dislodged those fire glaives. And army losses hit, unfortunately. I mean, it was very close. It was fairly close for a meme versus meme battle. GG to our opponent there. Very nicely played. I was not expecting a Kadai destroyer, to be honest. But the main threat was actually these fire glaives, who were able to repel my Daka and the demon's tongue. Just burning through my infantry, just rolling straight through. And unfortunately, I didn't get out enough of those Phoenixicas to silence those Inferno Gods. And they were able to stand till the... One of the units were able to stand till the end. And shoot everything down. Like, if I get a couple more Fanatics cast and shut down the Infernal God, I probably could have just kite down to Kadai Destroy, but my micro dropped a bit there on those on those Fanatics. Didn't manage to get its. I didn't. Yeah, I think I was. I only used one Fanatics cast per gobble, so I could have still do a lot of more damage if I could have been more on top of my micro on those guys. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But GG regardless, and that was fairly close. But yeah, that actually went fairly well until the very end there. But yeah, GG to my opponent there, very nicely done. And last round there's somebody. If any of you are watching my stream, could you please set up a spectator slot? I got a buy round for this one, so would be nice to spectate some games. Lich went beast mode for a few minutes, probably happened, and then I can't believe I threw my lord. So what happened was, I think I fermented fungi, the lord, and then used Tormentor Sword to lock him down. So he was just stuck in the middle of a block for quite a long while. Yeah. That's why Gobble Big Boss is quite scary. Because he has two. Not only does he have Rampage, he also have a Lockdown, Tormentor Sword, and Fermented Fungi, making him quite a strong choice. Yeah, let me just put up the blocker, which is why I really like using him. Which is why he is quite common if you don't bring the caster choices of Greenskin Lords. Also, he's dirt cheap, so like even if you lose him by Spirit Leech, you can probably still able to scrap back some way. Alright, we ready. Or are we waiting for them to be ready? But yeah, that was my few battles of no magic greenskins. Actually went way better than I thought, than I expected. If I had like Spirit Leech in the Chaos Dwarf game, I probably could have won that one pretty nicely. Ah well. Lich is gaining quite a rep for Lord sniping. To be honest though, despite sniping the Lords, I still couldn't win the game, and one of them was a game against Vampire Count, where the Lord is like half the army, in terms of importance. So, no, I don't think that was enough there. Tactical Lich out here showing the masses how overrated casters are. They're not overrated, to be fair, but it's still funny. It's just funny to play without them sometimes. They're still very good, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you don't need them. Yeah, having to spend so much on Lord Snipe, unfortunately, rarely worth it. Yeah, unless they're hinging their entire army on a single Lord, then it's a different situation. But even then, yeah, anyways, let's move into the battlefield. We're on Cliff of Beasts here, a pretty straightforward map, a lot of flat ground. Valkia the Bloody from Korn's side, played by Kukinko versus Contrarian Kodak's Chaos Dwarfs. Yeah, and we are seeing a rush army from Kukinko there. We're seeing the Blood Beast with the front line of Forsaken. That's about it. And a bunch of Marauders, actually. And, ooh, actually, some Corngors providing some armor-piercing anti-large, something I totally did not have in the earlier battle, due to the fact that I went full Vanguard. Oh, right, wait, I forgot. I also used Curse of the Bad Moon with extra bonus versus large to kill the Chaos Dwarf Lord there, so... Which explains why he melted so fast. But, yeah, anyways, for the Korn army in this battle, there are Marauders, Forsaken, and Blood Beasts, with some Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, Valkia the Bloody leading the army there, being a fairly small target and is relatively hard to hit with missiles. On the other side, for Contrarian Kodak's, the front line of Hobgobble Sneaky gets backed up by a line of Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses and a third line of Infernal Gods with Fire Glaives. Leading the army is a Lamassu Lord, the Zata and the Black here, to snare down enemies with the Sadistic Snare. Wouldn't mind seeing Wrathmongers versus that tough CD infantry. Name escape, Iron Sworn or the Immortals if you want the Regiment of Renown version of things. But yeah, we shall see what happens here. Looks like the Korn army is rushing, no questions asked. It's in their instincts to just rush towards the enemy. Throwing axes are moving up slowly. Oh wait, actually, what's the magic here? Plague of Rust and Transmutation of Lead. I don't know if it's worth it to use Plague of Rust here, cause I mean, all your missiles are armor piercing anyways, except for the Hobgobble Sneaky gets, which doesn't really matter because they mostly have no range and just shoot at infantry anyways. So I don't know. I feel like Plague of Rust is a bit of a... Oh, I guess it helps Satan to Black to do a bit more damage, because he doesn't have much armor piercing on the Lamassu. He does have silence though, but there's not a whole lot of stuff to silence in this battle. Ooh, throwing axes coming in, chipping some health away, I guess. But yeah, anyways, Hobgobble Sneaky gets rushing forward with their missiles, and the blunderbusses opening up onto the Forsaken, lighting up their unit and just crushing them, shredding them with those multi-shots. Forsaken, oh, okay, this makes a bit more sense. Actually, Plague of Rust onto Forsaken against Hobgobble Sneaky Kids. Hobgobble Sneaky Kids does have anti-infantry bonus, and this helps them a lot to cut down those Forsaken who are mostly protected by armor, but has very low armor melee defenses. However, the front line isn't going too well for the Chaos Dwarfs as expected. Yeah, well, wait, hold on. The Chaos Dwarf warriors got crumped by a combination of Korn infantry and Blood Beasts, while the flanks are barely holding, and you can see a lot of Korn Gores. A lot of these Korn units are flooding into the back line there. Zat in the Black duking a one-on-one against Valkia the Bloody, but unfortunately, unlike Valkia, he does not have bonus versus Lodge, and he does not... Oh, is that Withering? Oh, the bound Withering from Zat in the Black's Lamassu, and an Infernal God Fireglaive sitting right below Valkia the Bloody. They're doing some point-blank shots, getting some pretty decent damage done, barely equalizing the combat there, but Infernal Gods are slowly being dragged into melee combat there, and the blunderbusses are all being caught by Forsaken, Blood Beast, and Marauders as well. And you can see very few of these Chaos Dwarf infantry are still able to shoot. Oh, these units are clumping up a little bit too hard there, all these Forsaken Marauders and Korn Gores. The Infernal Gods are holding, thanks to Transmutation of Lead, lowering the enemy's damage output, while this Dwarf Blunderbusses are kind of forgotten by Korn, able to sit back and just keep firing. But yeah, right now, all these routed Chaos Dwarf units are being chased down by mobility. Having the option to maneuver around the battlefield and hunt down routed units is just so very nice in this kind of a mid to late game scenario where units starts routing. But then again, this one unit of blunderbusses that has been forgotten, with nothing here to peel off and shut them down, is able to just delete everything they can set their sights upon. If they can just turn... Oh, okay, Valkia is coming over to deal with them now. A volley of shots went in, but not a whole lot of damage. Perhaps Perhaps this guy here can get some pistol shots onto Valkyria and do some damage. Oh well. But looks like the Lamasu from Zatan the Black has retreated from the blob fight there. Now going after Valkyria and try to persuade her to leave those blunderbusses alone. These Fireglaves are fighting here forever. Almost earning back their worth. Almost, I say, because they haven't exactly earned back their worth. And Zatan the Black get a charge on Valkyria, driven her away, while the blunderbusses just shoots down a bunch of incoming Marauder horses with their Overwatch fire. Now they're shooting at the Forsaken, who are gonna be hit with a transmutation of lead, I assume. Yeah, to lower their melee damage output and help these blunderbusses to maybe fight them back a bit better. I don't know if they have their guard mode on. If they do, they can probably shoot a bit in melee. But yeah, looks like these Infernal Gods finally get grind down to dust due to the overwhelming numbers of the enemies here. And Zatan the Black is getting shot by throwing axes, being hunted down by Valkyria in a one-on-one duel as well. With a lot of these Chaos Dwarf assets. Wait, whoa! The blunderbusses decided to turn around, ignore everything that were trying to charge them, and absolutely blasted Valkyria to death. And Zatan the Black were able to turn that engagement around and surviving that onslaught. That was a very nicely done maneuver by Contrarian Codex here, though the Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses are now under the threat of the Forsaken and Murder Horsemen, and they're probably not going to be long for this. So this is, I guess this is where a Searing Doom would be really useful in the late game to hit up all these blobbed up enemies. But yeah, I think Zatan the Black is unfortunately running out of options. A little bit of a Flake of Rust to lower the armor of the Forsaken, and the terror from the Lamasu manages to break these Murder Horsemen. However, the Forsaken are not so easy to be driven back. So they're still holding, and the blunderbusses, unfortunately, are still disrupted in melee with more and more of these Khorne units flooding in. However, if the Chaos Dwarves can regroup some of their missile forces, maybe there's still a chance, as there's still one very weakened but still operational blunderbusses still in the fight. But yeah, this blunderbuss unit unfortunately will be routed off. Oh, actually, I don't know if Chaos Dwarves have what it takes to bring this one back. They still have some blunderbusses, but they're so very depleted with Besiege on all fronts at this point. And Fireglaves came back, but Zatan the Black is so very weak right now. However, these blunderbusses are able to peel off some of the incoming infantry, which is going to be huge. Although they might want to start shooting these Murders of Khorne as well. So yeah, they're grouping up into a square formation to help them turn a lot faster. Oh yeah, this is huge. This unit of Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses holding their ground and shooting at whatever that gets too close to them, routing them off in a volley or two. Oh no, here comes the Murder Horsemen with throwing axes. They are not gonna just sit there and throw axes. Instead, they are going in with a melee charge. Yeah, that might be the end of these blunderbusses. If they could have got a single volley onto these Murder Horsemen, they probably could have. Peeled them off, but unfortunately that is not the case here. So it is all down to Zatan the Black, these Infernal Gods, and the Infernal Gods over at the back. But unlike the blunderbusses, they do not have that kind of overwhelming firepower to delete enemy units outright. And they're more about longer range, consistent, precise armor-piercing fire over a longer period of time, which unfortunately time is not on the side of Khorne, on the side of Chaos Dwarves right now, as their army balance of power is getting lower and lower. Zatan the Black is probably going to try and chase off router units and hunt them down for a bit, but there's only so much you can do with only a couple of units, and there's a quarter of an army trying to bearing down onto your very depleted Infernal Gods. Especially there's still a relatively healthy-ish Blood Lattice over there. So we shall see what happens here. Wait, what? Oh, that's army losses? That's a bit of anti-climatic. I think the Chaos Dwarves still had a chance there if they could have just keep those Fireglaves holding their ground and get a terror out from rear charge of Zatan the Black onto the Blood Beast, beat back that one group of Khorne units, and then hold their ground and have Zatan the Black fly around and rout off depleted Khorne units, they probably still have the chance. I don't know if Zatan the Black and Codex decided to throw in the tower, or was it army losses there? Didn't quite catch the flag flashes, but the banner flashes. Yeah. Anyways, a very strong rush from Khorne there, just plying straight through those Chaos Dwarf defenses, and Chaos Dwarfs didn't really have much to stand in their way. Blunderbusters got some really good damage, especially this one who managed to hang on till the late game there, just shooting down everything coming their way, while the Fire Glaives held their ground and earned their worth. Unfortunately, just not enough to hold back all these Forsaken and Blood Beasts who were on a very, very aggressive rush. And then very nicely done to snipe out the Valkyrie the Bloody as well. But unfortunately, Lord Snipe is not equal to a win game, just like what we've seen in our previous battles. But yeah. Oh, it was army losses. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. I guess the ammo losses pushed the balance of power into triggering army losses. That was unfortunate. I honestly feel like Conquest Mode should have a much harsher army losses, as in it should trigger army losses at a much later timing. But yeah, anyways, cause you already have something to dissuade people from draw kiting permanently, so the army losses as a mechanic is a lot less important, I feel like. But yeah, anyways, I don't think that will be changed in the foreseeable future, so it is what it is. But yeah, very nicely done by both players here, and we are soon moving into replay casting, which is not a whole lot because we don't have a lot of signups today. So yeah, we have a few to cast, and that's gonna be it. Alright, let's see. The other battle in the round 4 is still ongoing, so we might start casting for now, while we wait for their... Oh, yeah, we only have a couple replays, so yeah, that's not a whole lot to cast. We can just start. Yeah, I mean, actually, let me just download the files. And then we can get it started. Alright, Dark Elves versus Khorne, the box build versus, well, Khorne. A lot of throwing axes, which is nice, but, ooh, they're up against some shades. That might be a problem there. Anyways, 4 throwing axes from Khorne, 3 Minos with great weapons, Warhounds, 2 Fleshhounds, 1 Furies. Haven't seen the Fleshhounds in ages, I feel like. And Valkyrie the Bloody leading the army there. And on the other side, for the Dark Elves of Boxing, we have Dread Spears and Black Gods of Nagaron holding the box exterior. Forming, it's not entirely a box, but close enough, yeah. As the back is kind of guarded by the Cold One Knights. In the center, we have the Blades of the Blood Queen ready to cut down every single Khorne infantry coming their way. And Shades with great swords. With they have anti-infantry bonus there and armor piercing, so if need be they can fight some armored targets, and anything that gets close will be obliterated by their very deadly crossbows. Spear Splopney really nicely cast onto the Blades of the Black Queen, as the Dark Elves were a little bit late on that dodge. However, the Khorne army also lost their Fury unit, who are trying to fight Crone Helebron, and it's not exactly doing much in that fight there. Doing some chip damage to her, but that's about it, while being obliterated by those Shades. These throwing axes have to be careful though, because the Shades do have a lot more range than them and can easily obliterate them from afar. Throwing axes are just hanging back there and throwing some axes into those Khorne Knights, chipping them down with their armor piercing. Oh, fire, but oh, those Shades, such high damage. Oh, looks like Crone Hellebron decided to go all in and try and duel Valkyrie the Bloody in disguise and doing a lot of damage, as she did turn on Witch Brew while having Pan's Impenetrable Pelt to boost her melee defense and physical resistance. Physical resistance doesn't matter, but melee defense does help a lot. Though Valkyrie dropped onto the ground and she kind of lost her attacking target. Anyways, the Dread Spears are holding on against the Marauders of Khorne, while the Blades of the Blood Queen are also saturating into the front line and turning on the Gaze of Khorne. Kane, not Khorne. That is going to give them the Dark Elves a massive boost in melee damage and shredding through those Marauders and Minos in melee combat, giving them big weapon damage boost and melee attack as well. As the Minos are trying to get into the backline, they're getting shot up pretty hard by those shades here. It's just like here. Throwing axes might want to just jump into combat and cut and keep the shades occupied, because right now these shades are absolutely shredding those Minos in at range. While the Minos in the front line is also struggling to break through the Blades of the Blood Queen, which is not ideal. Yeah, the Minos unfortunately getting surrounded by shades and hit up by the Black Gods of Nagaron from behind. That was not ideal. Wait, where are the... Hold on. Oh, the dogs are jumping in as well, but unfortunately some of them routed earlier, and these guys are trying to chill up those shades. These Flesh Hounds, unfortunately, are kind of left idle there and just sitting there not doing anything, which is unfortunate. Valkyrie is really going hard to try to cut down the Crone Hellebron, but once again, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt trying to protect her from the enemy character. The Shades are surviving just fine, being protected by Black Gods of Nagaron and Koan Cavalry and the Crone Hellebron herself. And these Flesh Hounds are have missed the opportunity to sneak in and shut down the Shades. The Shades are still very healthy as well. So this is going to be an uphill battle for sure for Khorne now from here on out, as their missiles are absolutely obliterated by the Shades' volleys. And the Blades of the Blood Queen, after dealing with the Minos in the front line, are able to come back and start dispatching the Flesh Hounds at the back there. While Valkyrie will have to give up on the chase against Hellebron and go after the Shades instead. Once again, Gaze of Cain boosting the weapon damage and melee attack stats of all these Dark Elf units, and even the Shades having 66 melee attack. My god, they are cutting down everything in the vicinity here. Yeah, those Shades are being deadly melee combatants now. Getting 2 chevrons from shooting and from melee. They're a pretty decent melee combatant after all, and yeah. They're surely holding their ground, surviving. I mean, they have taken more damage now that the Minos have came back for a round 2. And there are also dogs in the vicinity. But the Black Gods of Nagaron are coming in to help, especially this very healthy unit. And the throwing axes of the Khorne army is slowly running out of ammo, which is going to be a main concern in this kind of late game scenario there, as they do not have anything to work down the Black Gods of Nagaron other than throwing axes. And the ones with more ammo are being depleted by the Shades from afar, which is also another problem here. But yeah, Crone Hellebron is shut down, but there is still a very healthy unit of Black Guard of Nagaron, and nobody remembered to capture the point. It's a funny thing that happens all the time. But yeah, there's still one Shade that is surviving. The other one is getting chased off by Valkyrie the Bloody, but this surviving Shade will be the bane of everything else on the Khorne army at this point. Nothing is able to outshoot them, and even if they try to go in and shut them down in melee, they can just hold their ground waiting for the Black Gods of Nagaron nearby or the Blades of the Black Queen nearby to bail them out, or at least avenge their fallen brethren, right? But yeah, the Dark Elves have ran out of throwing axes at this point, and I don't see how they can take down the Black Gods of Nagaron. So I'm just going to fast forward here. Valkyrie is still very busy chasing down those Shades. Probably should have just sent these Murder Horsemen to deal with them. But this over half health, 2/3, 3/4 of health remaining Black God of Nagaron. I don't see how the Dark Elves can. I don't see how the Khorne army can take them down. They just beat everything up in the late game. Yeah, that's gonna be what happened here. the Murder Horsemen try to psycho charge, but the Black Gods of Nagron are coming in. And within a few seconds of contact, they just fall. They just fell a bunch of Murder Horsemen. Straight up. Yeah, the Shades. I rarely see the Great Weapon variant, but I guess in this matchup it kind of makes sense if you're expecting some heavy armor warriors and maybe even knights. But yeah, they definitely earned their worth there, shooting down the Furies, shooting down the Murder Horses and the Minos, and even if they are caught in melee, they can just cut down the Hounds with their competent melee stats. While the Black God of Nagron held till the late game and became a bastion of strength that the Dark Elves can rely on after they depleted all their missiles. Blades of the Black Queen did some good damage, but I feel like there's a theme in this tourney, so which is even if you Lord Snipe is not equal to victory, because we've seen so many Lord Snipes happening in this, at least on my battles. Lord Snipes happening, and yet it doesn't. The one who got their Lord Sniped out still managed to win their battle in the end. But yeah, I feel like a Searing Doom was definitely needed. Wait, hold on. There's no Searing Doom. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know what. I guess the only way to counter a box build is really Skull Cannon, but other than that, I don't see how Khorne can easily take down a box build like that. Like, if you go Scabrand, he's just gonna get shot up by a bunch of Shades. And very interesting use with a Crone Hellebron as well. Just making the box a lot more killy, so by the time units get to the back line, there's just not much left in them to take down the Shades. And yet nobody ever believes me when I say Lords are overrated. You're right. But yeah, that's a very Kane box build, which is quite funny. Lol, Lich on autopilot from the last game. What autopilot from last game? Not sure what you mean, mate. But yeah, anyways. I swear, like this tourney is just whoever snipes the Lord is gonna lose the battle in some weird twist of karma. This Searing Doom, yeah, that was from Chaos Dwarf game for sure. Because I was thinking about Searing Doom for a bit there. Yeah, that was definitely a bit of cache memory that I did not clear out from my memory cache. But yeah, anyways, the Hounds didn't really do a whole lot. Even if they get to the Shades, they still just get beat in melee. Needed Searing Doom. But yeah, anyways, that's it for that one. And next up is a Hamster versus Codex, and there's also another one that just got submitted. It is Dark Elves versus Vampire Counts. Once again, Butcher Bird has reigned supreme in the tourney. Can anyone dethrone this man from the Wednesday tourneys? He is on a winning streak so far, and somebody do something about it. But yeah, we'll have congratulations to Butcherbird for the win in this tourney, and we shall see if we can actually dethrone this guy and somebody get the win in the end of the tourney next week. Anyways, let's just cast the rest of the tourney, as we only have a couple replays left anyways. Yeah. So let me just quickly do that. Next up is Chaos Dwarf versus Dark Elves. We are seeing Hamster Berserker going with 4 Cold One. Once again, Shades with great swords. 4 Dread Spears, 2... that is not Eagle Claw. That's wait, shit. What is the bolt thrower name again? Let me just check. That's the Reaper bolt thrower here. There are so many bolt throwers now, I'm just kind of losing track on them. Reaper Bolt Throwers, and then a front line of Dread Spears for Koa Knights. Leading the army is Sorceress of Beast with Transformation of Kadon for the Manticore Summon and Ember Spear. Interesting. While on Ember Spear to nuke enemy infantry formations and Transformation of Kadon to disrupt shooting. But unfortunate for them, there is no traditional Chaos Dwarf shooting on this side of the battlefield. We are seeing a front line of Hobgobble Sneaky Kids, which are stalking, so nobody can see them on the battlefield right now. And then a bunch of Hobgobble Wolf Raiders, Oglacan's Wolf Boys, a lot of mobility. Some Bull Center Renders with great weapons, the Demon's Tongue, Regiment of Renowned Iron Demon, and some more Wolf Raiders on this side. Leading the army is a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire on foot, ready to burn down the light infantry of the Dark Elves. Let's get the battle started, as the Shades are holding their ground ready to counterfire at the enemy skirmishers, although they're kind of just ignoring each other. Yeah, the Shades are just ignoring the enemy skirmishers. They should definitely start shooting at some point soon before they themselves getting shot to pieces. The advantage of them is they have a lot more damage output and has a bit more range, but unfortunately they just kind of let the enemy get into their range with very little repercussions, and now they're getting poked down by the flaming arrows. Hobgobble Wolf Raiders, are they gonna go in for a charge? Probably not, since the Koan... Oh, they're going in. They're going in. And the Koan Knights are not reacting right now. So the Shades, they're decent in melee combat, sure, but they're also not that tanky and can be quite vulnerable to impact damage. Burning Head onto these Dread Spears, but I feel like that's a missed opportunity here. This is a beautiful line of Burning Head to abuse. But yeah, that was a missed opportunity. There's... Burning Head is now on cooldown, so they can't use it again. Hobgobble Sneaky Kids are making contact with the Dread Spears, but oh, that is a painful Burning Head. They just, not only do they get charged by the Koa Knights, but they also burn like half of their Hobgobbles down with a single Burning Head from their own formation. So yeah, that was unfortunate RNG for sure. While on the other side, it seems like these Shades were able to repel the Hobgobble with bows on the other side there. While these Hobgobbles had a little bit more luck, since the Wolf Raiders were able to shut them down temporarily, buying them a little bit more time to shoot. But yeah, they're now chipping down the Koan Knights, as the Hobgobble Sneaky Kids are making pretty good headway, slicing through those Dread Spears with their anti-infantry bonus and precursor missiles. Now the Koa Knights are charging through the enemy front line, trying to get to the enemy Demon's Tongue, but wait, was that the Reaper Bolt Thrower just nuking a bunch of their own men as well? I don't... Oh, or maybe it's just the Demon's Tongue shutting down, and also the Bull Surrenders shutting down the Koa Knights, honestly. But yeah, looks like the Hobgobble Sneaky Kids are making very good headway, as the Dread Spears were not able to stand against them. While the Wolf Boys and the Wolf Raiders are just chilling at the back there, just chipping away at enemy missiles. And now the Sneaky Kids are getting to the Reaper Bolt Throwers, and the Hobgobble Wolf Raiders are also coming in, trying to harass and shut down the Shades, at least keeping them from shooting at the front line. The Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is in a bit of trouble. Transformation of Kadon does have a Feral Manticore there to try and hunt down the enemy Lord, but it's gonna disappear soon, so it's not too ideal. The Demon's Tongue is under a lot of armor-piercing fire throughout the game as well, from the Reaper Bolt Thrower and some of the Shades even, and will soon be done for. However, the Bull Surrenders and the Sneaky Kids are moving close by, and a nice Burning Head that manages to hit these Shades, and did some decent damage. And then the Hobgobble Wolf Raiders jumping into the back line. They probably won't win this fight with all the Koa nearby, but the important thing is that the Shades can't just sit there and fire with impunity. On the other side though, the Shades, they are damaged, but they have held their ground and should be able to hold their own against all these Hobgobble Wolf Raiders. So the Shades are surviving, and the Chaos Dwarves are really struggling to completely shut them down. Even if the Bull Surrenders are nearby, they were able to fire in guard mode and drag down the enemies in melee combat, or at close quarter shooting, at least. And yeah, the Burning Head, unfortunately, didn't take that... If there's a Burning Head on this side, when the shades were overlapped, that would have been huge, shutting down 2 units of very important firepower at once, and then free up a lot more resources that could have helped the other side of the battlefield. But alas, that is not going to happen there, and yeah, Bull Center Renders managed to shut down these shades over here, but the shades, and the shades on the other side are also overwhelmed by the Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, who does have the anti-infantry bonus to cut through the lightly armored skirmishers of the Dark Elves. Alright, yeah, I think this is going to be a victory for the Chaos Dwarfs as they manage to push through the enemy defenses, shut down their shooting, and with their very aggressive combination of Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits and Bull Center Renders with a bunch of nice harassing from the Wolf Raiders. Is that a second Feromentacle summon? That's probably it. But it's also being left, not doing anything, being forgotten for a bit there. Now finally, the Dark Elves remembered the Manticle summon, sent him to dive down onto this Saucer Prophet of Fire, probably trying to kill him, but there's only half a minute left on this beast. We shall see if that's enough to take down the enemy lord. The Shades managed to regroup with their leadership, but there's not a whole lot of them remaining, as the Chaos Dwarfs are able to chase down routed Shades with their superior mobility, now that all the Koan cavalry are dealt with, either in melee by, mostly in melee by the Bull Center Renders there, which is pretty unfortunate, and partly at range by the chipping damage of all those fire arrows of the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Anyways, let's fast forward a bit here. Ember Spear trying to finish off the Saucer Prophet, but the Chalice of Blood and Darkness able to get some health recovery despite the damage from the Ember Spear. So if anything, that probably gave the Saucer Prophet a bit of hit points than actually taking hit points away from him. But the Bull Center nearby means that even if the Supreme Sorceress of Beast tries to dive down, she's just gonna get into trouble for tussling with all these great weapon anti-large armor piercing monsters. So I think that's gonna be GG here, as yeah, Dark Elves just doesn't have any resources to take down the rest of the Chaos Dwarf units. The last of the Shades and Dread Spears are just overwhelmed by a blob of Sneaky Gits. GG from both sides, but this time it looks like the Shades are no longer work against the Chaos Dwarfs, who are very, very aggressive with their push, just driving straight into the enemy lines with their Sneaky Gits and Bull Center Renders. I do need to check this battle again to see. Oh yeah, it's the Demon's Tongue killing a bunch of is it Demon's Tongue killing a bunch of Koan cavalry? Because the Koan cavalry died very fast. I don't think they're all killed by the Bull Center Renders. Something else must have killed them as well. So I might actually jump back into the battle and just replay and see what happened to the Koan Cav. Didn't really pay attention to them after all. Yeah, let me just quickly do that. You sent all the replays? Cheers, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks, Butcherbird. Okay, so I guess we have more replays then. Let me just grab the replays from Butcherbird and see what we haven't seen yet. Oh, we haven't seen quite a bit of stuff actually. We haven't seen the Vampire Counts versus Khorne, and we have a couple more replays then. Nice. Let me just quickly save them and move them into the replay folder. While we're at it, while we're done with that, let's just go back and see what happened to the Koan Cavalry. I didn't really pay attention to them during the cast, so let's check it out again. Alright, these guys were just kind of busy fighting the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders and getting shot by fire arrows, which is not ideal, and then they are too busy to try and kill the Sneaky Gits. Wait, they took a lot of damage on the Sneaky Gits. Oh, they were trying to pull out of them, so that they probably took some additional damage in there. Over here, they charge into the Demon's Tongue, but also getting countered by the Bull Center Renders. Over here, these Koan Knights did a lot better. They fared a lot better, and these two are still healthy. These ones got cut down by the Bull Center Renders, which is unfortunate. These Koan Knights, yeah, they just took a lot of damage in the middle of a bunch of Hobgobble Sneaky Gits for some reason. Fast forward again. These ones got charged by the Bull Center Enders and the Demon's Tongue afterwards, and then they came back in. Oh, okay, yeah. They just got beat by Bull Center Enders in general, unfortunately. Alright, that's it for this one. I refuse to play Grand Cafe so far. I've only managed Empire, Nurgle, and Vampire Counts. It took me a while to manage Vampire Count. Yeah, I feel like Vampire Counts is definitely a tricky faction to master. Alright, let's see. Next battle. Let's do some Vampire Counts action this time. Vampire Counts versus Khorne. I think that is the... Well, that is the final... Oh, wait, no, that's the... Yeah, let's do Vampire Counts versus Khorne. These two factions I haven't seen for a bit. Kokinko is definitely going for some funny bullshit. You don't always see a Blood Speaker. And then there are some... Wait, these are... Wait, I don't even remember what they're called. Nobody ever uses these guys. They're just the Walmart version of wait, what are these guys? Skull Reapers. They're just the Walmart version of Wrathmongers. Skull Reapers, kind of like Wrathmongers, but a lot less elite. Still having solid melee stats, I guess. Oh, 64 melee attack, 42 defense. That's definitely elite for sure. But yeah, a lot more models and less HP per model, I guess. But yeah, 3 units of Skull Reapers. You never see them, but still very deadly anti-infantry units. Let's see how they perform with mining tools, great weapons, reinforcing. They are buffed by a Blood Speaker who does bring in some abilities and abilities, not really spells. Khorne hates magic. Blood Sacrifice to provide heal by damaging their own HP. Murderous Exhortations to do some direct damage and reduce enemy leadership. Let's see, give our Furious Glory since they are on a Khorne War Shrine. Favor of the Ruinous Power War Shrine again. Gruesome Display to lower enemy attack and leadership. And yeah, mostly coming in here as a buff piece surrounded by the Slaughter Guard to try and hold on against the enemy hordes of undead. Probably expecting a very grindy battle. 4 units of Throwing Axes, and that's it for the Khorne army. Very elite in the core with a bunch of skirmishing surrounding them. On the other side, for the Vampire Counts, a front line of zombies backed up by Grave Gods with great weapons, probably expecting a bit of a box, or elite infantry build, which is why they brought in some anti-infantry themselves, and a Claw of Nagash to Mortis Engine enemy down. A bunch of crit horrors, just a couple of them, and Dire Pack Fellbats in case they need to pressure enemy skirmishing, which it definitely presents on the board today. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord with Helm of Discord, heart-piercing sort of anti-heroes going in with quite a few of their toolkit there to boost their damage and reduce enemy stat lines. Invocation of Nahak and Van Hell's Dance Macabre. I personally quite like this spell myself when I combine it with Grave Gods. Like Grave Guards usually lack stats, but this is exactly what they need to bypass enemy, to overcome the enemy and superior melee defense, giving them that extra push in melee combat. Since they really don't have much with them, only 26 melee attack. But with that 24 melee attack boost from Valhalla's Dance Macabre, they can have 50 base attack and bonus resist infantry, and that will come in quite handy. And on top of that, Mortis Engine to drain down enemies' health would come in nicely with infantry support. What else? Invocation of the Hack, raise that standard stuff. On this flank, you can see the skirmishers are already engaged in battle with Dire Pack and Fellbats, engaging
catching them in melee. Felbats are taking a lot of damage against the anti-infantry bonus of the Khorne Horsemen, but the Dire Pack with their bonus versus large is doing a lot of damage to the Marauder Horsemen, with the Felbats taking the brunt of damage. Whoa, that's a lot of damage. Breath attack from the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Completely obliterate 2 units of these Marauder Horsemen. The third is being pushed, driven back, and routed. Oh no, Khorne has lost all their mobility and skirmishing at this point, as the Dire Pack are now locking their eyes onto these Murder Horsemen of Khorne, being slowed down by, terrified by the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. And this 4th unit is also caught by some Felbats, unable to dish out those skirmishing firepower damage. And that puts the Khorne army in a massive back foot, losing all those skirmishing, leaving only infantry to try and grind it out against the enemy monsters and infantry, but Immortus Engine is always near to drain enemies down. Well, looks like there's a buff or a debuff going on right here. Murderous Exhortations. Oh, draining enemies' health down now. It's a bit like Immortus Engine, I guess. But it does have a time limit, and unlike... Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, unlike the Mortis Engine has a time limit, and it will wear off, and suddenly it's not doing any more damage anymore. And yeah, you can see the Khorne units are kind of isolated. They're fighting back to back with each other, but there are just not enough Khorne units all over the place to deal with the hordes of undead. And the throwing asses are all dispatched now, so the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord can focus on cutting down the enemy specific monsters. They're diving in and recharging those Minos, and a lot of Grave Gods are doing a good work against enemy infantry, slowly grinding down the Skull Reapers with their superior numbers, and also trading decently into the Slaughter Guard, who just got hit by a big breath attack too, further weakening this unit. Now, the Minos are definitely winning against the Crypt Horrors, but they themselves not having a whole lot of armor at only 70. They are taking quite some damage over time. They're just not enough bodies to body block for these Khorne monsters. You can see some Minotaurs are already routed away with the presence of the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord nearby. Just dealing with overwhelming numbers overall. Yeah, and once they are routed, they're not coming back with all these Vampire Count's mobility standing near. This is definitely meme build here. Nobody ever uses the Blood Speaker. Great to see him on the field, but as you can see, he's really not doing much in this battle. There's, I feel like if you want a Blood Speaker, you probably need something like a big freaking monster, like a... Wait, what is... yeah, I forgot the big single entity monsters. Yeah. That got added in the last DLC. Well, the DLC before, more like. Yeah. Anyways, Slaughter Guard slowly getting grind down by a sheer amount of Grave Gods, great weapons, and zombies. Here comes the Sword of Khorne. I don't think it's gonna change. I don't think it's gonna be enough to change this battle. Ooh, very nice damage, but only against zombies. Mostly against zombies, and not even much against the Grave Gods, actually. And now the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord dives down with the Helm of Discord, nuking everything in terms of melee stats nearby. And suddenly the Vampire Count's units trade a lot more cost effectively, even with zombies. And yeah, the Skull Reapers definitely did some good damage throughout the entire course of battle, and even the Slaughter Guard as well. But the Vampire Counts are just constantly passively healing from the Claw of Nagash, and while the Khorne army is getting passively drained down by that Mortis Engine, which is not ideal. And at this point, Skull Reapers, the Minos, the Slaughter Guard, they're all very much depleted by the consistent health drain from the Mortis Engine, and the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord cycle charging and breath attacks as well. Minotaurs came back with throwing axes in tow, trying to take down the Claw of Nagash, but it's too little too late. And that shall be GG with victory belonging to the Vampire Counts. They have managed to win out the grind. Very nice catch at the early game with all the mobility there. And then the Skull Reapers, Minos, they just don't have any more support from the rest of the army there. And overwhelmed and grind down by the tenacity or the sheer annoyance of a nuisance of unrouting undead troops. Yeah, Mortis Engine did some decent damage, but... MVP definitely is the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, while the Grave Gods also did some decent work against those Skull Reapers themselves, having the support of healing and a little bit of attack boost or attack stat modifier from either the Helm of Discord or Van Hels's Dance Macabre. And also a lot more zombies to just slowly grind down the Skull Reapers with sheer numbers as well. The Minos tried to cut down monsters, but these guys didn't do a whole lot there, as they were just kind of bogged down by zombies and rear charged by the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. And of course the Blood Speaker really didn't do anything here, despite all the buffs and whatnot. He's just not great. That is the best Dragon Breath attack I've seen in a long time, for sure. That was a very nicely done against those blobbed up Marauder Horsemen. Alright, next up, I think this is the final round battle. We're gonna watch it last. We're watching VZs versus CD first. Let's do that. And we are seeing Vargeist this time. The bane of my existence. Whether it was against vampire counts or as vampire counts. If I play against them, I usually got charged pretty hard by them, and they do a lot of damage at the hands of a competent player. But if I'm playing as them, as vampire counts, I let them die too early, too fast, and then I don't have the DPS units to help me win the game. So quite ironic here. But yeah, for the Vampire Counter army from Butcherbird, a front line of zombies backed up by a line of skeleton spears, and once again we are seeing Crypt Horrors. And behind them, flyers here, Vargeist, Felbats, and a Manfred von Karstein Vampire Lord, leading the army with some more mobility in the forest. Blood Knights, Dire Wolves, ready to pounce on the enemy flanks. As for the Chaos Dwarf army there, we are seeing 3 units of Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, one of them the Regiment of Rena, Ogre Khan's Wolf Boys, front line of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, second line of Hobgoblin Archers, and a third line of Godai Fireborn, ready to do some monster mashing. Leading the army is a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, providing Burning Head and Burning Head only, ready to roast some zombies. But unfortunately, with the zombies being deployed in this kind of a vertical line, it's very hard to take down all the zombies at once. It's probably better bet to take down to burn the skeletons at this point. Anyways, we shall see what happens here as the Chaos Dwarves are holding their ground. Don't really want to venture into the forest because that's going to render those Archer Fire useless. It looks like there is already a Burning Head here quite early, but only doing very minimal damage to the zombies, and Butcherbird is quite on point in dodging that. So the Skeleton Spears wasn't affected at all. Just some minor damage to the zombies. Although the Vargeist ventured a little too close to the enemy front line and receiving a volley of welcoming fire from the Hobgoblin Archers. And this time it's the Crypt Horrors who got a little too close. Very nice deployment from the Chaos Dwarves actually. Wait, how do you... Oh, these guys reaching those Crypt Horrors. Very nicely deployed by the Chaos Dwarves there. Just able to reach the capture point with the Archers. So the enemy can't actually just sit there and take the point. Otherwise, they'll have to sacrifice themselves by eating a lot of Archer Fire. Oh, looks like we missed out on some engagement there. Felbats caught one unit of Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders and managed to rout them off with the help of these Vargeist diving down. While Manfred got caught by the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire for a bit, taking some damage and getting shot by fire arrows. On the other side there... Sorry, I'm gonna Oh, wait, hold on. No, hold on, where's the Ogre? Hold on. I missed out a lot of action, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did. So I might have to restart this. Sorry, I'm gonna restart this replay because I missed out on the skirmish game completely. I'm gonna have to redo this. But let's do this one more time. Pay a bit more attention to the skirmishers because that just happened before I even noticed. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward there. I killed all Wolf Raiders immediately. Yeah, that sounds looks about right. Like, immediately the dire packs and the Felbats are just jumping onto enemy raiders. The Felbats managed to slow down the Oglakan's Wolf Boys for a bit, while the dire pack, which is ever so slightly faster than the Oglakan's Wolf Boys, managed to caught up. And because some of the models of the Oglakan's Wolf Boys got caught in melee, maybe they got pulled back automatically into this fight, and this is not going to be a fight that they can win against anti-large regiment of renowned dire wolves and Felbats. So overwhelmed by numbers, they went down. These Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders also being dragged into combat because a few of their models got caught, and the Vargheists should probably the Vargheists are coming to take them down. So Oglakan Wolf Boys have quite an expensive unit of skirmisher taken out of the game, and then another unit. There's only one unit of Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. They're still safe from harassment. As here comes the Vargheists, and that's RIP for these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Alright, now we can go back into the actual main battle now that 2 units of Wolf Raiders are down. As we've seen earlier, Manfred got a little too close and got caught by the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire for a bit, took some fire arrows to the face. Now the zombie skellies are moving in, braving the withering fire from all those fire archers. The fire archers really need to start shooting at the crypt horrors, because they do have... oh no! What are you doing, Hobgoblin archers? They got too close to the front line and now getting dragged into melee by the crypt horrors and enemy zombies as well. While these Hobgoblin archers are trying to provide fire support to the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. This would be a nice timing for a little bit of Burning Head in the front line there. But alas, oh yep, here comes the Burning Head. Onto some zombies. Breath attack onto the Killstone Warriors though. And Kadai Fireborn coming in to reinforce the archer line, trying to repel the enemy monsters. But unfortunately, some of the crypt horrors are already squeezing through the enemy gaps, enemy defenses gaps, and getting to the archers. So all the archers are compromised on the Killstorf side. No more firepower for them for now. Not until they dispatch the enemy melee threats. While in the skies, that Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is caught and surrounded by Manfred and a bunch of Vargheists. This is not a good scenario for them at all. It's completely surrounded by so many melee combatants, and with no fire support coming from the backline whatsoever. All these Vargheist zombies have managed to break down the Hobgoblin archers. Only one still survived, and they're also being caught in melee. Did they not have... Oh, they didn't have guard mode, so they were trying to move into range and just keep moving along do they? I assume they didn't have guard mode. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But yeah, they were just moving a little too close to the front line there and getting caught in melee. And a nice Burning Head here is thinning out some of the zombies, but here comes the Blood Knights from the flanks pouncing into the enemy rear formations. And these Hobgoblin archers' days are definitely numbered. The rather expensive Killstorf warrior infantry line is holding, but the problem is there's just a lot of gaps in the front line there. There are not enough units to pluck off every single incursion, and as a result, the archers suffered. They're compromised, unable to provide any more fire support, with the Kadai Fireborn just kind of being stretched very thin. They're needed everywhere, but they only have very limited numbers. They can't be everywhere all at once, and yeah. A lot of the archers got compromised. Killstorf warriors are still fighting, but unfortunately the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, who has been forgotten in the front line for a bit there, is now caught and surrounded once again as the Varga is coming back to take out some of his HP. But yeah, the Kadai Vibon is definitely a good pick, I would say. A very nice, sturdy, monstrous infantry unit that can also do extra damage to regenerating troops like the Crypt Horrors. Another Burning Head now. But I feel like it's probably more needed elsewhere. Maybe this area? The Burning Head would probably be more useful, or along this line to hit more overlapping enemy units, I guess. But yeah, it looks like things are not looking quite well for the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, being surrounded by Crypt Horrors and being damaged by Manfred. And he has routed, which is a big problem because the Killstorfs do not have any assets to secure the Flying Lord, while the vampire counts have the flyers they need to chase him all the way to the white line. Like the Varguys or even just Manfred himself being sent over. Kadai are good here, not on tonight's evidence. Well, I think the Kadai is still performing very well. You can see they're one of the one of the healthier units still remaining on the battlefield. Although the second unit of Kadai is gone. I think they died, being surrounded by Varguys or something. Killstone Warriors are still holding, but while they can still hold, they just don't have the damaging component to take down the enemy units like the Blood Knights who are just psycho charging now. And the Crypt Horrors, Varguys who can do some healing via hunger. You can see these Varguys are definitely healing, chilling, and healing by munching down their enemies, their routed enemies, getting some nice heals. And yeah. That one lone Kadai Fireborn can only do so much here. They have decent armor, but oh wait, no, they are tired. They're exhausted, so a lot less armor now, taking more damage in the late game. And Killstone Warriors are slowly being whittled down by a sheer amount of zombies and psycho charges, and that's going to be army losses there. Losing Lords tonight has been the route to victory. Unfortunately, not in this one. In most battles, yes, but not for this one. Not for this particular battle. As yeah, as the archer line, I feel like it's a similar issue like my battle there. Too many archers and yeah, not enough protection for them. And these skirmishers just got picked off very early in the game. Well, the Varguys, Blood Knights all did pretty well, and the Dark Pack, definitely spectacular performance from them. All that anti-large damage, very nicely trading into those skirmishing cavalry. Manfred also did well, and yeah, that's gonna be GG for this one. The Kadai 5-1 did okay. This one definitely earned back some value. This one still having a lot to give, but unfortunately army losses kicked in before they could have paid their worth. Should I just check them out again, just to see how... yeah, I'm gonna rewatch this one for a bit, and just to see how the first Kadai 5-1 died. Dark Pack, one of Alfred's favorite units. Yeah, they just trade so well into light cavalry. And they're relatively cheap as well. It's like Beast of Tashnar, but without the routing aspect of Beast of Tashnar. Like, Beast of Tashnar is also very good, but they route, unlike the Dark Pack, so... Well, they're good, they're not as good. Well, Dark Pack will just keep fighting on until they, well, die. Part one of those behind the box and it will feast. One of what? Sorry? But yeah, anyways, let's see. The Kadai 5-1 are chillin'. Oh, you mean part one of those behind a box as the box breaks apart, and then the Dark Pack can feast on the routed troops. Yeah, that. Or you can use a regular Hound for that, or a regular Dark Pack, Dark Wolf for that too. But the Dark Pack does come with the nice nice bonus of being a regiment of renown with additional stats and whatnot. Okay, so these guys are holding the left flank. Oh, yeah, they're just fighting a lot of units. Getting stretched a bit thin, I reckon. Like the Fireborn definitely did decent here, I think. The Kadai 5-1, not the High Elf 5-1. But there are just too many units around them, being charged by Varguys and Blood Knights charging them, surrounding them and beating them down. They do not have the most armor at only 80. Like, it's not bad armor, but it's also not a whole lot. So they're still getting attrition down, even by the non-armor piercing Blood Knights. The Dark Pack is a very cost-efficient, very cost-efficient mobility units. Routing of units is one thing, preventing them from returning is next level, for sure. Right. I think that's what we figured out. Alright, let's get the final replay for today. Counts versus Dark Elves, which the Dark Elves might be boxing. No, they're not boxing. They're kiting. Brave Dark Elf attempt here. Let's see what happens here. Dark Pack have good leadership for the undead, which is the best part about them. Even better than stars and a anti-large. I mean, to be fair, the leadership comes from the additional chevrons of being a regiment of renown unit, right? But yeah, the high leadership part, preventing them from early crumble, is definitely very useful. Alright, now, for the army builds here. The Dark Elves are, from Hamster Berserker, is definitely not going for the conventional route here. Koa Knights, 4 of them, backed up by 3 Blackout Corsairs with handballs. Actually, Blackout Corsairs with handballs isn't exactly a rare choice against Vampire Counts. But the fact that there's no melee infantry at all, and instead all the money went into skirmishing units and cavalry. Bloodwreck Shrine, Bloodwreck Medusa, and a Knight Assassin leading an army as Morathi on a Dark Pegasus. This is a strange army for sure. Melkos Mystifying Miasma, Power of Darkness, and Soul Stealer, one of Karaidon from Morathi, a very standard toolkit. On the other side, for the undead, a line of zombies backed up by some Karn Raves. 4 of them. Actually, they're not backing up, more like on the flank, ready to jump onto enemy missiles. And a bunch of Black Knights, Lances, and Barding, going with more of a quantity over quality approach with the mobility here, alongside some Vargheists, probably expecting to needing to overwhelm the enemy with sheer amount of mobility. But I do wonder how the Black Knights would perform against all these Koa Knights there instead of using Blood Knights. Manfred von Karstein here with Purple Son of Zerus, Gaze of Nagash, raised that Invocation of Nahak, 4 spells, so quite a bit of investment on this one single Lord. Of course, Sword of Unholy Power to get some more Winds of Magic recharge alongside Life Leeching. And yeah, that's it for army builds. Let's see what happens as the Bloodwreck Shrine and Bloodwreck Medusa are opening onto the Karn Rave and trying to work down these ethereal units with their physical resistance. Although the Black Knights with Lances and Barding are coming in and trying to threaten this Bloodwreck Shrine. And Bloodwreck Medusa probably eating a Gaze of Nagash on the other side there. They're already receiving some damage. Koa Knights trying to hold back the enemy Blood Knights and Vargheists, but looks like Karn Raves are coming in to help out, and there's not enough magic damage on the field to deal with all these Karn Raves right now. Oh, and oof, ouch. The Koa Knights over here trying to got charged by the Vargheists probably, and taking a shit ton of damage as the Blood Knights and Karn Rave saturates in as well. So all these Koa Knights are already in big trouble, dealing with all these armor-piercing units on the other side of the battlefield. Black Corsairs are trying to do some kiting now, but yeah, this is rough for the Dark Elves for sure. Losing 3 Koa cavalry already, and the Bloodwreck Medusa also on the routed without using much of their ammo. Now the undead can chase them down with impunity. You can see. Oh no, these Koa cavalry are already shattered. And yeah, within the first 2 minutes, the Dark Elf army already down to zero Koa cavalry, and the enemy still have a bunch of Black Knights on the battlefield. While Morathi is just running for her life, flying for her life, trying to run away from the Vargheists. Bloodwreck Medusa as well, nothing to protect all these skirmishing units. One of Karaidon missing on Manfred von Karstein. Very, very lucky for Butcherbird there. And I don't think that really matters anymore, to be honest. Wait. Oh, wait. Alright, the Bloodwreck Shrine does fire on moving, so right now it is kiting time. All these Black Corsairs trying their best to run away from the enemies and shoot them down with their handballs. But here comes the Black Knights in charging distance with a little bit of speed up, and over here, Knight Assassin turning on that web of shadows to drain the enemy unit's health and trying to get as much damage done as possible before getting sniped down by Manfred and a bunch of Karn Raves. Morathi is still running away from all those Vargheists, while the rest of her troops are getting slaughtered. Yeah, these Black Corsairs are getting run down by the Black Knights, and Karn Raves are also catching up to almost catching up to the Black Corsairs. If they can get one single hit onto these Black Corsairs, they can slow them down with that Frostbite, and they will have a much easier time to slowly cut them down in melee. Anyways, back to the main fight over here. Soul Stealer from Morathi, very standard stuff from her. But yeah, right now the Undead's focus is to take down the Bloodwreck Shrine and steadily reduce that balance of power on the Dark Elf side there, surrounding the Bloodwreck Shrine with all those Karn Wraiths, using their Frostbite to reduce that speed, preventing it from escaping, and then the Black Knights are pinning it down with their mass as well. While the Kena Assassin getting grind down by Vargeist and Undead Infantry. On the far side, more and more Karn Wraiths and Black Knights are able to catch up to the Black Corsairs and finish them off. And yeah, Morathi is just trying to run for her life, currently take on this Vampire Count army from the front. And that is going to be GG here, as all these Undead troops manage to pick off those fleeing or retreating Dark Elf units. And I think that is all the replays for today. That is going to be GG here to all players. Congratulations to Butcherbird for once again winning the tourney, very much establishing the dominance of this of his skills in this Wednesday Faction Wars scene for pretty much all of the years so far, except the very first battle on which is not on a Wednesday. Yeah, not on a Wednesday. It was on a Thursday. It was on New Year's, and that was, I think, that was Ludero. I think it was Ludero winning that one, if I remember correctly. Let me just check. But yeah, after that, Butcherbird has been on a streak. Has been on a winning streak for all of the events afterwards. Yeah, Ludero won the first tournament of the year. On New Year's, but yeah. But after that, Butcherbird joined the game, and it's been a pretty clean sweep for him so far. Very excited to see what he's bringing next week. Probably he will bring a different faction, and we'll see if he can keep his winning streaks, or will somebody dethrone this guy. But yeah, so far this battle, these Black Knights did absolutely great, just running down all these skirmishing troops, as there's not really much to stop them. The Core Knights, while being decent anti-large armor piercing cavalry, the fact that they got charged by the Vargeist and Karn Wraiths, that's just too much armor piercing for them to deal with, and the Black Knights as well, just pushing them, overwhelming them with sheer numbers. Well, the Bloodwreck Medusa and Bloodwreck Shrine didn't do a whole lot there. They used to be a lot better, but now things are a bit more balanced, and they lost their OP eye laser, and yeah, a lot easier to catch them and overwhelm them as well, being a single entity monster that doesn't have the most insane speed, and they just got surrounded and shut down by the Vampire Count's army. And yeah, Morathi did some decent damage. Even the Assassin got some decent damage, but you're against a Vampire Count's army, and you definitely need to do a lot more than you usually need to, because the whole stake of Vampire Counts is just to whittle down your army with superior healing and numbers. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today's battles. I hope you'll enjoy this short and sweet Wednesday Faction Wars. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more action. At the meantime, hope everyone had a great week. Stay safe, and yeah, we'll see you all in the next one. Thank you everyone for joining the tourney. I hope you all had fun, whether you've been playing in the tourney or just watching the replays or the streamcast. And congratulations to Butcherbird for the win, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Tactical